Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. After what seems like forever, Erenville has managed to get passage to Tural for everyone who's making the trip. Usually the Gleaners don't let regular folks hitch rides on their ships, but Erenville pulls some strings, so Alphino, Alisay, Kral, the Warrior of Light, and Wuklamot can catch a ride with the people who are supposed to be on the crowded ship. Before you all go to get your travel bags set up, Wuklamot makes sure that you all remember that the purpose of this trip is to help her on the mission of becoming the next ruler of Tuliyollal. Everyone has their own personal goals to work on in the New World too, especially Kral, who wants to find out why Wuklamot's father wanted Galuf to investigate the Golden City, but all of that is second to helping Wuklamot. With everything ready, you all board the ship and head to the New World. It is not exactly a short trip, and between Wuklamot's seasickness and a very bad storm that nearly kills everyone on board, the trip takes even longer. But after surviving the not-so-pleasant voyage, you all arrive in the city of Tuliyollal. The city is not small and it's filled with people of all different types. They all look similar to races that you know, even though they go by different names. They don't do too much traveling between lands either, so outsiders from your part of the world aren't exactly common. Fortunately, you're traveling with a member of the royal family, so you get to skip all of the annoying immigration headaches you had to deal with in Sharlayan. That's a good thing, since the guards would have probably made you leave since they didn't want any outsiders interfering with the right of succession. Once they find out that you're traveling with the Third Promise, you may as well be citizens of the nation. The first thing you all need to do is get a feel for this new place, and Wuklamot wants to show you all around. A member of the royal family wandering around with a large group of outsiders will probably draw a crowd though, and unlike her brothers, people are way more comfortable walking up and talking to her, which will make giving a tour to everyone at once take forever. So instead of walking around with a small raid party, Wuklamot shows the Warrior of Light and Kral around while Erenville acts as the twins' guide. The city's not as primitive as you might have expected, since Kona, Wuklamot's brother, had studied in Sharlayan and brought back some handy little bits of technology. She shows you around the city and tells you about how her father united both of the continents into a single nation, a story that's been carved into some large stone pillars in the city. He didn't do it alone, and one of his teammates was Ketenram, the adventurer who traveled back and forth to the New World but was eventually lost at sea, or so the stories say. Once the tour is over, Wuklamot takes you to do the most important thing that everyone is supposed to do when they go to a new place, and that's get some food from the best rated restaurant in the city. Since the top dish in Tuliyollal are tacos, that's what she orders for you. But you don't get the chance to eat them because Wuklamot runs into the fourth person who's competing in the Rite of Succession, a two-headed Mamuja named Baku Jaja. While he's allowed to compete for the throne, he's not one of the Dawn Servant's children. The fact that he is one of the Blessed Siblings, which is what they call the very rare two-headed Mamuja, he thinks that he's the only one truly worthy of being the next ruler of Tural. Wuklamot doesn't think that he's all that special just because he was born with two heads, but he's more than willing to show her just how powerful that makes him by beating her to death right there. Kral convinces her not to fight him, but while Baku Jaja thinks she's trying to save Wuklamot, he has no idea how close he came to getting killed by the Warrior of Light. While he is strong, he would get one-shotted. Most people would, but there is somebody in the city that is as strong as the Warrior of Light. It's just not him. Kral had never seen a Mamuja with two heads, but out in Tural, the ones that are born think they are destined to rule, so they travel the world fighting people to get stronger. That's why the Warrior of Light had to deal with one when he took over the Wanderer's Palace and enslaved the Tonberry. Still, you won't see many of them out in Tural because they're really rare, but they are born stronger than most since they have two souls. Wuklamot doesn't want to talk about them anymore. What she really wants to do is get more tacos, but the twins are ready to go to the palace, so instead of getting food, you head off to meet the Dawn Servant. The first thing you all see when you walk into the room is quite possibly the last thing you would have expected. The Dawn Servant is in the middle of a fight with Estinian. He has a tradition where anytime he sees someone strong in his city, he invites them to his throne room for a sparring match. When Galul Jaja sees his daughter, he decides to stop the match, letting Estinian know that he's the strongest person he's fought in a while. The Dragoon lets him know that if he really wants a challenge, he should fight the Warrior of Light. The fact that he could go toe-to-toe with Estinian while one of his heads stayed asleep means that the Dawn Servant might actually be just as strong, if not stronger, than the Warrior of Light. Technically, Tuliyollal is ruled by two people since each of the Dawn Servant's heads are a unique person. The head of Resolve is the one that's awake and loves to fight. The head of reason is the magical side, and has been spending more time asleep to restore its magical energy since the Dawn Servant is extremely old. The king is curious to hear about Wookalamat's adventures and these allies that she's recruited, but since it's time to start the Rite of Succession, that'll have to wait. Estini is not taking part in that, so he leaves before the other claimants arrive. Outside of Wookalamat and Baku Jaja, there is Zoralja, the Dawn Servant's biological son who shouldn't have even been born since the two-headed Mamoja is supposed to be infertile, and Kona, his adopted Makode son who had studied in Sharlayan. The four of them will compete in the Rite of Succession, and the winner will take his place. It was obvious that his children would have a shot at getting the throne, but he didn't want the position of ruler to just be one that belonged to a specific family or race, so they held a tournament to give someone else the right to compete, which is how Baku Jaja got a spot. Zoralja would have competed in the tournament too, but he was away dealing with a Taral withdrawal. Baku Jaja thinks that was just an excuse so the man wouldn't get embarrassed in a one-on-one fight with him, but Zoralja is the stoic type, so he doesn't even respond to the much bigger guy. As for what they will all be doing in this contest, they have to travel all around Yogg-Taral and find the City of Gold from the legends. The place is very much real, and Galul Jaja has been there way back before Tuliyollal was founded. Him and his friends had found the gates of the city, so he wants the contestants to do the same. They'll have to retrace his steps and break the seal that he put on the gate if they want to win. Each contestant will have tablets that tell the same story that's been carved into the pillars. In each of the places, one of the Dawn Servant's chosen people will give them a test. If the contestant passes the test, they'll be given a keystone to put into one of the tablets. They'll need 7 stones to unlock the seal on the Golden City. A lot of it seems like a waste of time, but there is a method to the Dawn Servant's madness. Even if there weren't and he just wanted to make people do nonsense to earn the throne, he could do that too. So instead of wasting time, the contestants grab their tablets and get ready to start the contest. Before you all join them, Krall introduces herself and shows the Dawn Servant the letter that he had sent to her grandfather. Under normal circumstances, he would answer any questions she has about it, but since he's given everyone a mission to find the Golden City, answering questions about Krall's grandfather would give her team an unfair advantage. If she wants to get any information out of him, then she has to help Wookalamat win his throne, because he plans on telling his replacement everything. So your mission remains the same, and the students of Baldesion head off to start the contest for the throne of the new world. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Grab a copy of my novel on your way out, and I'll see you all next time.